or two. Where are we on the curve of that? Are we in the first innings?
Well, I think the way to look at this is we've gone through a number of industrial revolutions. And by the way, one of the things that Richard is essentially alluding to was that tech, largely American, often West Coast, but Midwestern American were the dominant parts of it, was both linked to progress for society and the creation of wealth. And so now we have this thing where software is really often very much linked to a couple small group of people on the West Coast getting wealthy. And you have where we are in this cycle is this, to your question, we are at the way beginning of a disruption where software and its execution end up being the determinant variable of military, clandestine, and commercial success. What you had with, you could call Silicon Valley or Tech Revolution 2.0, is that you had companies mostly on the West Coast of America that are the very best at executing on software and turning your data into a product which is so disruptive that they disrupt every company around them. And that revolution is at the beginning because companies like the companies that are represented here and all over America and all over the world are going to implement software and combine their business acuity, their operational acuity, and world-class software in an effort to create jobs, wealth, and prosperity, and also to succeed in the competition of business. So I would say, I think we will look back at this time as a converging point where software and where the hardware used to be dominant, now the software and execution will be dominant. And what you're already seeing now is that on the military, especially military and commercial front, countries and entities that are good at software have just an enormous advantage, even if nothing else works.
So as I've mentioned before, Palantir is becoming a cult stock. And what makes a really good cult stock is the story and that sudden realization that the company is going to change the world. You guys, Palantir is at the start of a revolution that is going to affect nearly every company on the planet. I don't think there's been a company ever that has had this kind of potential. Software is going to eat the world. And we're at the very early stages of this revolution. I'm going to show you guys what kind of potential I'm talking about in just a second. But first I should say, I believe nearly every company in the world is going to be somewhat connected to the internet, if they're not already. However, this is only going to intensify over time the importance of internet and software. There are approximately 41,000 listed companies in the world with a combined market value of 80 trillion. This is equivalent to the global GDP. More than half of this amount is held by institutional investors and the public sector, according to a new OECD report. So there's around 41,000 publicly traded companies worldwide. Now, a lot of these companies are being disrupted by the internet. A lot of these companies have survived well before the year 2000, and their business models was viable. However, as we continue on into the future, we all know these companies are being seriously disrupted by software and internet alike companies. They are a ticking time bomb in my opinion. Almost every company in the world is going to need to utilize the internet and software. Their business models will not be able to compete without it, and that's where Palantir comes in. Palantir is going to be an essential service for almost all companies, in my opinion. So the thing is, how do you value a company that can theoretically grow forever? That's the thing. This isn't just a 3 to 5 year trend that Palantir is taking advantage of and they won't be needed anymore. When you look 40 years out, what do you see? I see Palantir being the most important company in the world, and really the need for them is only going to increase as time goes on and data continues to exponentially grow. So that's the thing. When you look at a company like Walmart, well, they can only build so many stores worldwide. That takes X amount of time, and then it becomes unclear how a company like that can keep on growing. So what ends up happening is the market re-rates the stock, and then they end up trading at a lower multiple over time. Palantir will be incredibly volatile and difficult to value. just like Amazon was when people didn't understand how to value them. Amazon has crashed 90% before, 40% multiple times, and has had a ton of 10 to 25% corrections. We can even see articles back from 2010 calling it a bubble. People were confused how to value them. The same thing will occur with Palantir. The software revolution has just begun. It's normal to be skeptical with these kind of things. I'm a skeptic naturally as well. But as you dig deeper and deeper into Palantir and companies like Snowflake, you realize the potential is almost endless, and there's really no end in sight when these companies will actually stop growing, because we all know the internet is going to become more and more important, data is going to become bigger and bigger, and the need to utilize data is going to be more important than ever into the future. And I can't really actually imagine that slowing down. I'm sure there will be a time, but at the same time, I think Palantir is going to be able to transition their business as the world evolves. So, just like many investors back in the day who sold Amazon because of fear that it was overvalued and what Wall Street was saying, that was their biggest mistakes. Ignore the media and Wall Street. It's all just noise that's going to end up costing you a once-in-a-lifetime investment opportunity. And then in 10 to 20 years, look at the price and then maybe consider selling or trimming your position. Anyways, guys, that's all I have for today's video. I'm going to be doing a lot more videos on Palantir. This is just the very start of many more to come. So if you want to see more content like this, definitely feel free to subscribe to this channel. I'm going to be diving much deeper into this stock. Anyways, really appreciate you guys watching till the end. I'll see you on the next one.
Oh.